So welcome, and today we are talking about social media monitoring. And so what that means is that, we all do social media for our business or nonprofits and boards that we sit on, but why are we doing it? Is what we're doing working? And this is going to kind of explain to us how to look at that. My name is Miria Gray. I am the Community Education Officer here at Chelsea Groton Bank. And for 6 years, I was a marketing director for a nonprofit before I came to Chelsea. So this is right up my alley. I'm very used to tracking and reporting on these types of things. So basically what we're going to be looking at are insights and analytics. And social media analytics, it's the process of tracking, collecting, and analyzing data from social networks. And all social networks have them. You just have to know where to look for them and what to be looking at, because sometimes there is a lot of information that is given to you and it's overwhelming. So there are some key things that you just want to be looking at, and not that you would disregard the rest. You can definitely look at them and see how you're doing. But these key things are really going to help you determine if what you're doing is working. So what should I be tracking? Your website, if you've got one, emails, social media, and any place that you are putting content. So all of these channels should have some kind of analytics. Websites would use probably Google Analytics unless they have their own platform. Emails should have their own analytics platform that comes with them. It should be sending you information about click-throughs and how many people opened it and those types of things. Social media has a lot of analytics that is very kind of drilled down, and any place that you might be putting content. So, if we're talking a lot about social today, which is easier to track, but if you're putting ads in newspapers, that is a lot harder to track. Ads on radios, those things, they can give you maybe how many listeners were listening at that time, but they can't really tell you how many people actually heard your ad or saw your ad. Digital on channels like through a podcast or something like that, they can actually tell you how many people were actually listening to the podcast at the time that your ad worked. So those types of channels are a little bit different. So what to track? So we should be looking at engagement, awareness, our ROI, our return on investment, and our customer care. And if you're saying like, wait, those things are not in my analytics, they're just called different things. So we want to know if people are engaging with us. We want to know if they're aware of our business. We want to know if what we're doing is working. And we want to make sure that, as we would in person, that we are treating our customers or our followers right on social. So engagement. So you can find this in most social media analytics, and engagement covers things like likes, comments, shares, clicks. Oops, sorry. So Facebook has a really great platform. It'll show you if you look at a post that you posted, then you'll be able to see how many likes and how many shares that has. So that is easy. Clicks, maybe not as much, but you have to go into analytics to see that. Engagement, higher engagement means your content is resonating with the audience. So you should be looking at what types of posts are getting the most engagement and which posts get the least engagement. So that's important to look at, because you want to know which ones are getting the highest amount of engagement and those posts that aren't working for you. the posts that aren't working for you doesn't necessarily mean the information that you're putting out there is not relevant or that people don't need to know about it. It just means that they're not as engaged by what you're putting out as maybe some of your other content. So for example, if you put out a picture of puppies, you're probably going to have a lot of people engage with that. If you put out a picture of a pie chart and started talking about, you know, the revenue that your company is bringing in versus, you know, something else, people are going to tune out. So people like puppies, they don't like pie charts, unless they're financial people, and then they would prefer the pie charts. But more people like puppies. So you have to look at those posts that are getting that higher engagement. And then think about how you could change those lower engaging posts to be more like the higher engaging posts. So just because the content is different, how can we change the content to mirror what people are really looking for? Do you see any surprises? And sometimes we will see this. We will put something out there that we did not expect would get any engagement, and people just eat it up. A lot of that has to do with maybe featuring an employee or a specific maybe item that we have, or piece of volunteerism that we're doing. The more that we can tag other people, show other people, include other businesses, we bring in people from outside of our social network that are engaging with those other people. So those posts have a tendency to do a lot better because you're focusing outside of your normal realm. So here's what we're looking for. Okay, so if you go to your insights on social media, you can see there's an overview, there's results. You're going to be looking at content for engagement, and you're going to be able to see all of the posts that you've made. And up here in the right-hand corner, you can change it to be a specific amount of time. So if you want to look at it week over week, great. If you want to look at it month over month, great. Just know that you're not going to be Facebook doesn't store it forever, or you're not going to be able to access it. Not to say that they don't store it. They want to know what you're doing, but they're not feeding it to you. So you just need to try and do it pretty regularly, at least go out and look. You can export it. So even if you're like, I don't have time to do this right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, it is, you know, April 1st, I'm going to go download March's analytics. You can export it. And then you can look at it at your own time. So there, you can then see the posts that you have. You can see the reach, and reach is how many people saw it. Whose face did it come in front of? That's like people that it was fed to. That doesn't mean that they liked it or that they commented on it. That just means that they saw it, that it appeared in their feed. Likes and reactions, obviously, that is, they gave you a thumbs up, they gave you a heart, they gave you a care, whatever it is. And then did they comment on it? So you can see that for these, this is an Easter post. So they liked it, it reached some people, but there were no real comments because we weren't really asking them to do anything. This one, there were some more comments about other things. So be looking at what people are commenting on. The more likes, shares, and comments that you have, the more people end up seeing your posts. So make sure that you have some good likes. And as you can see over here, if you look closely at these posts, they're both Facebook and Instagram. So this is really important because Facebook purchased Instagram several years ago, and they now have a platform that merges the two. So you can post to both places from your Facebook account or your Instagram account, but it really works better from Facebook to Instagram than it works from Instagram to Facebook. And you should be doing that, because why double your efforts? Okay. Some helpful tips. If you're not getting the engagement you think that you would like on your social media, think about, where is your audience? Are they online? Where do they shop? Do they belong in any groups or associations? If you have an older audience, say your senior center, are your people on Instagram or TikTok? Probably not. So you should be focusing maybe more of your efforts to a Facebook platform or something like that, where you might have a tendency to find an older audience. Are they online? Are they directing to your website? If they're really searching for things more on your website than they are on your social media, put a link to your social media or put the stream from your social media right on your website page so they can see in real time the updates without having to have an account. And additionally, you might want to, that'll save you the time of reposting and reposting. But you also might want to have, an events page or a calendars page or something on your website that you can drive them to. Where do they shop? Why is this important? Because we all like to shop in different places. It matters to you if you are a retail business, maybe a little bit more than if you are not a retail business. Think about what they like. And then go see what those types of businesses are doing. Who are they following? What are they posting? What types of things might they be getting engagement with? And then you can then kind of maybe mirror some of those feels. So even if they're advertising, if you're like, I know that my customers really shop at Walmart. What is Walmart putting out there and how are they putting it out there? They have paid advertisers that know exactly what their clients are looking for. So how are they communicating with their customers? Do they belong to any groups or associations? You should definitely join those, definitely find some groups that they might join on social media, and then begin sharing your content into those groups. So for example, if you have a community forum, then like a Norwich community forum or Groton community forum, can you share your information into a community forum? You'll be putting it in front of a whole lot more people that are in your demographic than maybe might follow you at this point. All right. While higher engagement means that you're resonating with your followers, that doesn't mean that you're convincing them to buy your products or your service. Numbers do not always matter. We need to look a little bit more deeply. So followers are people that follow your page, like your page, and those two things might be very different. Likes are the number of people that like your page. Followers are the number of people that say they want to see your posts every time that you post. So if you're looking at your followers and your likes, and your followers aren't the same as the number of people that like you, then request that people follow your page. But numbers don't necessarily always matter, because our followers may come from different places. And if we're located in Groton and New London and all of our followers are from New Hampshire, then that's not helping us. They might like our content, they might comment on our content, we might be getting great engagement, but if they're not our customer, then they're not who we want to follow us. So how can you figure out about your followers? So this is new likes and followers. This is new Facebook page likes. This is new Instagram followers. So you can see that, you get some every once in a while. Again, this date up here from March through yesterday, there are 38 new Facebook page likes. And then you can see that that is down from previously. So you can say, oh, why is it down? Why is that down? And so you may want to go look in the last time period and see what you were doing then that was getting more engagement than perhaps it is now. The same thing for Instagram, you can see that. If you're paying for ads, meaning that you're boosting posts or creating ads for your business, you're definitely going to want to look at ad trends, the paid reach and the paid impressions. You're going to want to take a look at those. So every time that you pay for something, you want to see how well that's doing. Facebook does a really good job with that. Right under the post that you've boosted, it tells you exactly how many dollars that you've spent on that, how many people have seen it, and how much is paid reach versus organic reach. So organic reach means that people are seeing it just because they're following your page, or maybe it has been shared by somebody else. Paid reach is the reach that you get from Facebook when they push it in front of somebody that you have decided should be somebody that would want to see that based on your settings, and that you have paid for it to be there. The other thing that you're going to want to look at is, like I said, if all of your followers are from New Hampshire, but you're a Connecticut-based business, you're going to want to see that. So you would go underneath in your insights, underneath audience, and you're going to look at your current audience. You can also look at your potential audience, like those people maybe you haven't reached yet. You can see what their age and gender are. You can see the top cities that they're coming from. And again, Facebook and Instagram. We're going to look at Twitter a little bit later. We'll look at Google Analytics from our Facebook page, from our website a little bit later. But age and gender is really important because most businesses have a demographic that they are focusing on. So if your demographic is 65 plus, that's not really the amount of people that are viewing this page. This happens to be a really good demographic for the Basra Farmers Market, which is whose page this is. Top cities, where they are coming from, that makes a lot of difference. If, for example, for looking at this is the Basra Farmers Market. Obviously, Basra is a lot smaller of a town than Norwich, so you would be expecting that the top cities would be a little bit less than a larger city. So that's probably okay. But say that you are a Groton-based business or a Mystic-based business, and all of your top city is Preston. Well, that doesn't probably make sense for you. So maybe you should try some targeted ads and some things like that to the areas that you are really looking to focus on. Not enough of the right kind of followers. So define who your customer is. How old are they? What is their gender? Where are they located? And what other factors might matter to you? So it's important to know how old they are, because that is where you're going to find them. As we talked earlier, Facebook has a larger group of people that are on it. Instagram is a little bit younger. TikTok's even a little bit younger than that. So if you're solely on TikTok, which I don't imagine most people are, but your age demographic is 65 plus, obviously you're not going to be finding them there. What's their gender? Why does that matter? If you are selling a product, you're going to want to be focusing more on the females. Why? Because typically they make most of the household decisions. So thinking about how maybe your house works, or a family, or your neighbors, your friends, how do their households work? Who is my customer? If you are, a nut and bolt supply house, your customer probably would want to be men. If it doesn't really matter, then you want to do a 50-50 split, that's great. Awareness. So awareness can't be found as a topic, but awareness of your brand is covered by the impressions, your reach, so your impressions and your reach. And what is the difference? Impressions are the number of times your content is displayed, no matter if it was clicked or not. So If it comes up in front of their face, great. The more times it can come up in front of somebody's face, the higher the chance that eventually that they are going to click on it. We need to see content more than once sometimes before we're like, we want to engage with it. And reach is the total number of people who see your content. So, reach is they are sure that they've seen it. Your reach is, and your impressions can be very much of a different number. And you just want to be making sure that you're getting good reach and good impressions, that people are seeing it, it's popping up in front of their face, and you're reaching the audience that you want to reach. So here's how that looks. So Facebook page reach, you can see that it's a little bit different, Facebook and Instagram. So we started out, why is it high here? We could go look around April 9th and see what was posted, because this looks like, over 2,000 people had seen, there was reach on 2,000 people on April 9th. Why is that so high? Over here, again, it is really high on Instagram. So what happened there that more people were seeing it? We should definitely be doing more posts like that. And this is your page visits. So people that have actually come to your page, not necessarily that that they have seen a post and liked it in their feed, but then they have come to your Facebook page or your Instagram profile. So those things aren't necessary, but if people are coming to your page, they're also seeing other posts. So we want them to do that. So again, it's up and down for kind of both. If you don't think that you're getting enough brand awareness out there, how are you different? So this is what you need to define for yourself. Can you get some testimonials from people? Can you tell a compelling story about who you are and what you do? And think about what your elevator pitch is. What do you tell people when you have 30 seconds to tell them what you do on social media? You have about 5 seconds to get somebody's attention before they are scrolling past that. So whatever you're going to say, whatever is your catchy tagline, whatever is the most important thing you want them to know, you are going to want to make sure that that is first. You are going to not want to bury that at the bottom. So you don't want to tell a big long story and then have the most important thing be way at the bottom of that story. You want to tell them what the important thing is first, and then go back and tell them how you got there. Your return on investment. So we don't spend all of our time on social media just for the fun of it. It's a lot of work. It can be a lot of time, and there's lots of things invested in it. So we want to make sure the return on our investment is good. We want to make sure we're getting some things out of the effort that we're putting in. It's not really a direct conversion. You can definitely figure it out though by using referrals, conversions, click-throughs. Are you getting any customers from it? And are you getting any direct messages? So do people tag you in posts? Are they referring you? So maybe on that community forum, when somebody says, I'm looking for a muffler place for my car, who are those businesses? Who are people saying, go to this business, go to that business? And if they're tagging your business, then that's a great referral. Conversions, are you converting people from liking your posts to following your page? You definitely want to make sure that you are doing that. If you look at the people that like your posts, if you go to your desktop version of Facebook, for example, and somebody has liked your post, you can ask them if they would like to follow your page. You can invite them to follow. or like your page. And so that you should definitely be doing, because if they're liking an individual post, they'd probably be interested in seeing more, but maybe they just didn't click through to get to your page to like it. Click through. So are they clicking through those posts to get to your page? So looking at that page visits thing. Also, are they clicking links in your posts or emails or anything? What is happening there? Are you turning them into customers? If somebody comments on your page and says, "Ooh, that looks amazing, I'm going to be in," and then they come in, then it's definitely working. If they say, "Oh, that looks amazing," and then nothing else happens, you're not really converting them into a customer. It's great that people think that our product looks amazing, but then we also want them to buy our product. We also want them to use our service. So just somebody saying that they like it is great, but how are we then converting that person into being a customer of ours? And then direct messages. Are people messaging your page? You can tell that just by looking at your messenger. And you should definitely be checking that, getting alerts if people send you messages, because if we all think about, do we message somebody and how quickly do they get back to us? We can move on really quickly to a different business or a different service if we feel like we've been waiting a long time for an answer. So referrals. Facebook allows you to refer your page. So are you seeing this? Conversions. How many of your followers become customers and click through? Are they clicking on your links? Are they visiting your Facebook page or your Instagram page? Is anyone buying from you based on your messaging and direct messages? Has anyone messaged you through your website, social, or replied to an email? If you're not getting the ROI, what are your goals? So it's important to understand what your goals are for your social media. Are we just trying to establish a brand? Are we trying to generate more website traffic? Are we trying to grow our sales? Are we trying to just increase our visibility? If you're a new business, your goal might be just increase your visibility, maybe establish your brand in the marketplace. Maybe you want to send people to your website. So you can definitely do that. You can, have visit our website button at the top of your page. Do you want to grow your sales? Is that working? Do you have an online store? Are you having them come into a place of business? What do you want them to do? And Facebook will let you set goals for yourself. So again, this is in our insights, right under overview. You can set goals and Facebook will tell you if you are meeting those goals. So you can go ahead and get started. You can set a new goal for yourself. You can say, I want maybe 20 new Facebook likes this month, 20 new Instagram likes this month. I want more reach. I want more, all of these things. And whatever you think it is, Facebook will track those things for you and give you a report based on what your goals are. Now, customer care is really important because we can reach people, but then if we don't give them the care they think they deserve, we will again lose them. So how quickly do you respond to messages or post comments? That could be important. Facebook will tell people how quickly you respond. So definitely be checking at least once a day. If you make a post, you don't have to sit there and answer every, comment as soon as it comes in, but you should schedule maybe a couple of times a day to just look at it, maybe during your lunch or maybe, on a coffee break or whenever it is, or just stick it on your calendar. If you've put a post out there, you should definitely be checking to see if people are commenting on it so that you can respond to those comments in a little bit of a timely manner. You don't want to leave those sitting out there for days and weeks. If somebody is like, wow, this looks great, how can I get this? And then all of a sudden, 2 days later, you're answering them. Are you getting return customers? So are people following you? Are they liking you? Are they coming in more than once? Are they using your service over and over and over again? Whatever it is, are they returning? Are you getting more interactions? So are they liking, loving, sharing your posts? If people share your posts, that is great because they have identified for you that they care enough about your brand or whatever you're putting out there to show it to other people. So sharing is great. Are you getting more followers? Who's following or liking your page? That's really important. The more people that follow your page, but again, you have to make sure it's the right people. If all of a sudden you had posted something, maybe it was, St. Patrick's Day, and you posted this post, and all of a sudden a ton of people from Ireland are following you, but that's not your target demographic, then that is more followers, sure, but that's not going to convert to more business for you. All right, so Facebook/Meta Business Suite. This is where you can find all of the information about your insights, your trends. You can you can get from a desktop version of your social media, or if you have the Facebook Business Suite app on your phone, you'll be able to use that. I would recommend getting the app, even if you only have one page. It helps you manage multiple pages, but even if you only have one business page, I would recommend getting the Business Suite app because there's a lot more that you can do from it than from the regular app on your phone. And you'll be able to see all these types of things. So you can check your notifications, your inbox, see all your posts and stories. This view is a little bit different than if you're looking at the page view. This is kind of like the nitty-gritty business view of it. You can do a planner, so you can plan out your posts. It looks like a calendar. You can create ads from here, see all your insights, and there are definitely some more tools. If you are managing more than one page, you can click down here and toggle between pages. So this is where you are going to see ad information. So if you've paid to boost a post, for example, you can see recent ads. What is the response on them? How much did you pay? What was your reach? How many clicks? Event responses, engagement, those types of things. So now we'll go into Twitter. The reason I put Twitter at the end is because most of these types of things, and Google is coming next, all of these types of things are going to be looking at the same types of information. And so if you understand one, you'll definitely understand all of them. Twitter analytics, if you click in your browser and click more on the left side of the menu, you'll see analytics as an option about halfway down. That will bring you to the Twitter analytics dashboard page. So you'll see newsletter, Twitter for professionals, Twitter ads, but then there'll be this analytics bar. And the types of things that you should be tracking are exactly the types of things that you should be tracking for other social media channels, impressions, top tweet, which one got the most interactions, the number of followers that you have, your engagement rate, and those are what you would want to be tracking on Twitter. So here is a Twitter dashboard. This is again a 20-day summary. So it'll tell you, again, very much like Facebook and Instagram, how many tweets you've had. Is that down from the last period? The tweet impressions, is that down or is it up? Profile visits, mentions, another page, followers that you have. You can see up by 30. So this is the total number of followers for Twitter, and you had gotten 30 more in this particular period. Your top tweet, putting my hands to good use, building a Rocky Point, Mexico family a new home. Why is that a top tweet for them? It earned 335 impressions. But if you look down here, you can see that it only had 4 likes. So impressions means that people saw it. They, it got in front of their face, but you might have only had 4 people interact with it, which is okay, but you definitely want people seeing it. And then top mention, this guy mentioned it. So over here is kind of a little bit of a summary. Google Analytics, so this would be for a website, allows you to measure your return on investment from advertising and social media websites and applications. It can sometimes be a little tricky to set up if you're not tech savvy, but you can get a monthly report mailed to you. A lot of websites will have the ability for you just to copy and click and get analytics. And if you have somebody else managing your website for you, they should be sending you your analytics every once in a while, probably monthly. So this is kind of what your Google Analytics would look like. Again, here's where all your followers are coming from. United States, which is, kind of hopefully what you'd be looking at. Here are some other countries. You can drill down further than that. You can push in and see where in the United States people are coming from. Are they coming from your city? Are they coming from your town? Are they coming from your state? Or are you based in Connecticut and all of a sudden most of your followers are coming from New Hampshire? Users in the last 14 days, number of sessions, which is the number of times somebody went to your page. So users, even though there are 5,385 users, they have gone to your page multiple times, those users. So that's really important. So sessions, demographics down here, again, is your age groups that you're looking for. Types of devices that they're coming from, that is completely up to you, but sometimes it's nice to know. So for example, this one, most of them are coming from the desktop, while only a few of them are coming from mobile. If you're looking and that's the case, then you want to make sure that your desktop looks great because that's where most of the people are coming from. But if most of the people are coming from mobile, you are going to want to make sure that your mobile enabled website looks really good. Where are they coming from in your social networks? Are they clicking on things and landing there? How are they getting there? Are they getting there through Twitter, through Facebook, through LinkedIn, Reddit, YouTube? How are they getting to you? New versus returning, they will track that for you. It uses people's IP address. So is it a new visitor versus a returning visitor? You want to definitely see some new visitors, but you also don't want your returning visitors to disappear like this. You want people to make sure that they're coming back. So if it's all new visitors and very few returning visitors, you may want to think about why is that? Unless you're a one-stop shop. If you are a selling gravestone headstones, you are not going to want to see that many returning visitors. You're going to want to see some new visitors. So if you're kind of a once and done, or maybe they're only coming back every once in a while for types of service, like if you repair screens on phones, hopefully they're not, coming to your website on the daily. Hopefully, maybe it's once a year. So that'd be fine. You just have to think about what your business is and how often you want them to come. So if you're not seeing the results that you're hoping for, you can change up what you're doing. Think about the times that you post. And if you schedule your posts through Facebook, it will tell you the optimum times that your followers are on that page. So even though you may want to schedule your post for 8 a.m., Facebook may suggest for you that 6 p.m. is a better time. Why? Because that's when more of the people that follow your page are online. So you don't know that, but Facebook knows that. So you should definitely be listening to Facebook a little bit And you can try kind of A and B posts. You can schedule maybe the same type of post, maybe just change out the image that goes with it at 6 a.m. and then one maybe with a different image, but the same content, the time that Facebook suggests for you, and just see which one does better. The frequency that you post. So are you posting frequently enough? Are you posting too frequently? You can try switching things up to see if that works. The visuals that you use. That's really important. Is it eye-catching? Is it not eye-catching? Again, you could try an A/B post, same thing, different visuals. Which one do people like better? The content that you're using. So going in and looking at those posts and seeing which ones people are interacting with and deciding how you can change your other posts to be more like that one that most people are interacting with. Creating a content calendar. So this doesn't have to be crazy. This could be you going into somewhere and grabbing one of those free calendars that comes from a bank. Most people still have them, just grabbing one and saying, okay, let me look at this. Here's where holidays are. Maybe this is where I want to create a post about this. Here, oh, first day of spring is here. I want to create a post about that. What am I filling in between then? I have a sale coming up on this day. We have an event on this day. And then filling in your content around that. We should be making a post about this. We should be making a post about that. Having a content calendar will help you because you will be able to you won't have to like be racking your brain every morning for what you're going to post. You can do it at a time that you feel most creative. You can do it at a month at a time. You can take that content calendar and sit down and look at your Google Analytics and say, all right, these are the days and the times that I posted. This one didn't do really well. You know, what could I do better? How could we change that? All right, so that is kind of all I had this morning. Do you have any questions?